good day, everybody. I'm doing a little bit of maintenance on this 57 Kubota. Not a ton, should be fairly simplistic, but it started out a little bit semi-seized. I'm going to do the track tension on this 57 right now, and I just took the cover off, but what a bitch getting these bolts out for these cover plates. And this isn't even an old machine. I can only imagine what it would be like on something old. So I got that cover plate off. Now I'm going to take that machine outside, we'll jack it up, and we're going to check in that owner's manual, we'll check the deflection and see how much grease I got to put in those adjusters on this 57. Okay, so we got the 57 owner's manual out. Actually, standing in the same place I had the Coyote manual out on the tractor when I did the video, Coyote versus Kubota, and guys still put comments in there that I was full of shit, and even though the hydraulic system was explained in the Coyote manual, guys still told me I was full of shit, but that's okay. And so we got the 57 manual out, and we're looking at the track tension on this, and it gives you two settings. It gives you about 3 1/4 for steel tracks deflection from the top of the rubber track to the bottom of the roller. 3 1/4 deflection for steel, and they want you to have a 1/2 inch deflection on a rubber track then from the bottom of the roller to the top of the bottom portion of the rubber track. That's what they want, about a 1/2 inch deflection. And these tracks here are, first time I've tensioned them, they're out of whack probably by well over an inch. So they're due to be adjusted. And plus I've been tracking a lot with these lately, up and down the township roads and cleaning ditches and around culverts. And I've just used the machine quite a bit. So it's way overdue, actually. Not way over, but it's overdue. So just showing you guys right there. There it is, rubber tracks. And dimension A specifically says 10 to 15 millimeters for rubber, and there it is right there. So I figure a 1/2 inch should be just fine. Steel, there's your dimension A, and they tell you the deflection on steel should be about 3.15 to 334, so I figure 3.25 or 3 1/4 should be just fine for steel. So there you go, steel, rubber, and then here we go. We're on rubber. So I made it a little bit easier for you guys maybe to see. All I did was take off this cover plate right here, covers that grease fitting up, and then you just pump that grease chamber, that sealed grease chamber. It's going to have seals on it, and all that does is, I'm assuming there's a piston in there, and as you fill it with grease, it moves along inside a cylinder, and it moves your idler or your track tensioner out as you pump it full of grease. I haven't had one apart, so I can't say. But we're going to check something first. I'll show you guys here while we're at it, just so I know. Let's see where we are to start. It calls for about a 1/2 inch, and right now I'm sitting at right there, roughly 1.5 inches. Have a look at the tape. So we'll just say we're sitting probably like 1.5 inches, whatever. So we're like 3 times out of whack. And how I kind of got to looking at these tracks, I had to tension them anyway, but I was on a job the other day, and when I got off the machine and I looked at the machine from a distance, I could see a bit of sag on each side of that upper idler. So I thought, I better get on the track tension and have a little look. So there you can see, I'm about 1.5 inches deflection, and I should be a 1/2 inch, so we'll get on that thing. Not the end of the world, but you just gotta kind of pay a little attention to the machine. So we'll see where we go here. And you can see that as I'm pumping the grease in that, probably about 1 inch so far. Yeah, we got a few pumps to go. I'd say we're pretty good right there. Pretty good right there. We're right about a 1/2 inch right there. So that's good. So that's where that should be. That's about a 1/2 inch deflection in there. All you do is put your grease gun in there and you pump that full of grease. And all that does too, it just takes that front idler in the front and just pushes it out. And that's how you, and if your seals are good in there, you should never get any bleed back around that piston or around them seals for that track to go loose on you. And that would be the only reason that you couldn't keep these tracks tight on any machine, even the track loaders or anything, is you got bad seals on those tensioners, and they probably have to be, well, they have to be pulled apart and resealed, and that's why you would lose your track tension on a regular basis. That's just what I'm thinking looking at this system right now. I've never had to tear one down, but what else could it be? So anyway, that track is tensioned properly. We'll cover it back up and we'll go to the next one. But we're going to blow that out first. And another thing we're going to do here, this bolt was a bitch to get out of here for that cover plate. And I am pro anti-seize. This can save you a lot of downtime down the road. Oh, son of a bitch. Got a little grease on you guys there. Okay. All right, that's side number 1 done. Let's go to number 2. All right, so I just started the machine up, I should have showed you, and I rotated the track on this side. And lo and behold, once I rotated the track on this side, I came up with a little more slack and it needs a little more adjustance. So I should have showed you guys that too and got it on video. But anyway, there it is right there. So I rotated the track, and it went to about 1 inch after I rotated the track 1 inch. So it went from 1.5 inches to a 1/2 inch. Then I rotated the track, and now it fell back to 1 inch. So we got that track settled in, so we got to go a little more. I want that deflection to be a 1/2 inch after that track is fully rotated and the machine is ready to go. So let's do this again. Okay, we're about a 1/2 inch right there. Roughly a 1/2 inch on that. Very close, so we're going to rotate that. I'd say we're pretty good there. Right in there. I'm pretty content with that right there. So after I rotated those tracks, after I greased it the first time, the track did settle in on the rollers and on the sprockets and everything. So it did deflect that 1/2 inch down to 1 inch. So we just opened it up a little bit more, ran it, and now it's staying tight at a 1/2 inch. So that's where we want it. And that just goes to show you when you tighten it up I didn't read the instructions any further in the book, but chances are when you go to tension it up and you measure it, you should probably rotate the track. Just what I'm seeing now before you get your final track tension. So that worked good. And why I'm such a proponent of anti-seize is this lower stuff, all your track idler, your track roller, your idlers, and all this lower threads are all exposed to all the harsh environment underneath there. So that's why I'm so pro oil spray and anti-seize. Okay, on to the next side now. We got that side just where we want it. All right, so this bolt come out a lot easier than that last one. Holy shit, that was a bitch. So what's nice to see when you pull that cover off is you can see fresh red EP oil, where when this machine went in for its service from the fellow who owned it before me, they must have tensioned up the tracks for him on the service and just checked them out, maybe adjusted them a little bit. But it's looking that we might be about the same deflection as the other side, but let's have a quick measure. Yeah, it's about the same. There's not much difference there at all. About 1.5 inches on that. And that's good, that's fine. All right, let's give her. All right, now we'll rotate it before we button it up like last time. See it? It's dropped off. It has dropped off exactly like the other side to the 1 inch mark. We're good to go there. Very good. Very good. Pretty much right on 1/2 inch right there. All right, you guys, so we tensioned up those tracks properly. I was like 3 times over. I was like 1.5 inches, and really they should be tensioned up to 1/2 inch. Whatever. It's not the end of the world, but I just seen that the other day. I seen the deflection was a bit excessive when I had it out on the road on the top portion, so I thought I better get on those tracks. I'm overdue on those. Okay, you guys, so got that track tension right. I was 3 times over on that. I was at like 1.5 inches. It should have been 1/2 inch. So we got them tightened up with a grease gun. But another thing I threw on this week is those Amazon strobes. Look at the top of the machine there. That's the same one I threw on top of the Coyote up there. They're a reasonably priced safety strobe light. Great for snow plowing in the winter. They show up good. And I've got one up there on that Coyote tractor over there too. So I got 2 of them now. And like anything on Amazon, the price deviates all over the place, man. Some of them are $39, $40. Other ones are $90 and $100. But I think you can get them, well, Canadian, 44 bucks. I think they're $39.99 here in Canada, and then 45 or whatever delivered to your door. That's Canadian. So you guys in the States probably get them half price. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Track tension, Kubota, KX057 excavator, and that's a -4 series, not a -5. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next one.